Emerson was waiting outside the door. He was leaning against the wall with his arms folded, and his look of, "I would stamp and shout if I were not such an unusually patient man," on his face.
"What took you so cursed long? I am in a hurry."
"I did not ask you to wait for me."
"I want to talk to you."
"We have nothing to talk about."
"Ah! You are angry because I didn't ask you to share the watch with me tonight."
"Ridiculous. If you wish to sit there like patients on a monument waiting for a murderer to attack you, I will not interfere."
Is that what you were thinking? Oh, no, my dear Peabody. I was bluffing about the message, of course.
I know.
Do you suppose the others know?
Probably.
Well, then what are you worried about?
He had me there. The message was such a transparent subterfuge that only a fool would fail to see it for the trick it was.
I had hoped that the device would stimulate our suspect, not to murder me. I am no hero, my dear, as you may have observed, but to flee. Like you, I believe now that the trick has failed. However, just in case the killer is more nervous or more stupid than we believe, I want you here to observe whether anyone leaves the house.
We had been pacing slowly around the courtyard as we spoke. Now we reached the door of our room. Emerson opened it and shoved me in. He enveloped me in a bruising embrace.
Sleep well, my darling Peabody. Dream of me.
I flung my arms around his neck. "My dearest husband, guard your precious life. I would not attempt to keep you from your duty, but remember that if you fall..." Emerson pushed me away.
Curse it, Peabody. How dare you make fun of me? I hope you fall over a chair and sprain your ankle.
And with this tender farewell, he left me, cursing under his breath. I addressed the cat, Bastet, whose sleek form was outlined against the open window. He deserved that. I am inclined to agree with you, Bastet. Cats are much more sensible than people. Bastet and I kept watch together, while the hands of my little pocket watch crept on toward midnight. I was flattered that the cat stayed with me. Always before, she had seemed to prefer Emerson. No doubt her keen intelligence told her that the truest friend is not always the one who offers chicken. I had not been deceived for a moment by Emerson's glib excuses. He did hope the murderer would believe his lies about messages and decisive clues. He expected to be attacked that very night. The more I thought about it, the more uneasy I became. A sensible murderer, if there is such a thing, would not have been fooled for a moment by Emerson's play-acting. But if my theory was correct, the murderer was stupid enough and desperate enough to react as Emerson had planned. After I put on my working costume, I blackened my face and hands with soot from the lamp and removed every touch of white from my attire. Opening my door a crack, I ascertained that the watchman was on duty in the courtyard. I could not see anyone outside the window. When midnight finally came, I left the cat sleeping quietly on my bed and slipped out the window. The moon was gibbous, but it still gave too strong a light for my purposes. I would rather have walked unseen under heavy clouds. Despite the cool of the night air, I was perspiring by the time I reached the cliff that overlooked the valley. Below me, the abode of the dead lay at peace under the light of Egypt's eternal moon. The fence around the tomb obstructed my view until I was quite near. I had not expected to hear sounds of revelry, so the dead silence that enveloped the place was not in itself alarming, nor was the fact that I saw no glow from the lantern Emerson usually kept burning. He might have left it unlit in the hope of luring the killer close. Yet the now only too familiar grue of apprehension chilled my limbs as I glided on. I approached the barrier cautiously. I did not want to be mistaken for the criminal and knocked down by my own husband.